Okay, so during this class already, we've talked about a lot of different things: cost percentage, food cost percentage. We've talked about recipes and how we can figure out how much things cost and everything like that. And next week, we're going to talk about how we price things based on how much goes into a recipe and through each portion and everything like that. And that's all well and good. However, but we cannot assume that when we buy something that we're getting 100% out of it. Okay. So we have what we call edible portion and as purchased. All right. So AP is as purchased and EP is edible portion. AP is exactly how it sounds. It's as we buy it. Right. So if I buy a tenderloin and it's 6 pounds, and I can sit there and I know that I'm charging 6 pounds and I'm cutting it into half-pound fillets. So I know exactly that if I pay $100 for that, I know that if I put it into, what did I say, 5 pounds? So 5 pounds, half-pound fillet, I'm getting 10 portions, and I can divide it by what I paid for it, and then I know exactly how much I've got into each one, right? No, because anybody who's ever trimmed a tenderloin knows that there's an awful lot of waste in a tenderloin, right? The chain itself weighs, I don't know, a couple pounds, right? Or whatever. Okay. So you have a lot of waste, right? So that as purchased doesn't give you it's not like I can count on all of that to put on a plate. All right, that's the best way to put it. I can't count on 100% of an as purchased to put on a plate. I have to figure out what my EP is. So I trim it, I get it, and it's like, oh, okay, that 5 pounds just turned into 3 pounds. Okay, so that's a significant difference, and I need to take that into consideration when I'm figuring out prices and things like that and cost, right? So let's think about that. So we have an AP and an EP. AP I said was 5. I might have changed these numbers and things pop in my head. I apologize, but we're going to use 5 for your AP. And the EP I think I said was 3, right? So that's a significant amount of waste, right? We want to figure out what our yield percentage is. How much when we buy this in the future, if we know that we typically get 5 or 3 pounds out of 5 pounds, we can figure out what our yield percentage is, what I can count on. Okay, so how do I get any percentages? Part divided by whole, right? Well, part here is going to be what, EP or AP? Think about it. AP is the full amount. EP is less trim. So the part is the EP. So EP, which is 3 divided by 5, gives us our yield percentage. So 3 divided by 5 equals 0.6. So our yield percentage is 60%. Okay, so now I can use that number when I order. I know that I need to order 40% more than I would because I got a 60% yield percentage. But another thing I can do with that is I can figure out our actual cost per pound. All right. So let's just say per pound, I pay $20 per pound for that tenderloin. All right. So if I have $20 in 1 pound, I want to figure out how much I pay for a pound. What's my actual cost for 1 pound? It's 20% or $20 AP. So I take that $20 AP and I divide it by my yield percentage, which was 0.6. So $20 divided by 0.6 equals $33.33. All right. So my actual cost of a pound of tenderloin is $33 and $33.33. Now, if I'm like most people and I have half pound fillets, so now I know that for each fillet, I'm paying $16.66. Whereas if I just did my AP, I would say that I'm only paying $10 because half of 20 is 10, right? So you see the big difference, right? All right. And it is a big difference. We have to figure that out. All right. So again, this was yield percentages, how it relates to the actual cost of things. And we took into account our EP, our AP, and our yield percentage. All right. So that's that. We'll have a discussion this week, and we'll also have another homework, a quiz, and a discussion. I think I said that already. But anyway, all right. Thanks for watching, and I will see you next week.